Hey yo, what's going on guys? Welcome to the channel. And this is gonna be my spoiler warning now, guys. This is gonna contain spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, I suggest you go and watch it. I'm gonna let you know right now it's a great watch. Right off the bat, it's worth I guess your Disney Plus subscription. And if you got it watching for free, hell, it's worth watching for free. So spoilers, but if you want to just watch a review and you don't care about spoilers or whatever the case may be, or you already saw the movie, I really appreciate it. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and let's just get straight into it. This is gonna be my review of the movie Soul, which I just saw this past Saturday, and this is my good, bad, and the spark. Now to get into it, the good, to be honest with you, it's Disney. I don't know what people expect when it comes to like animation. Like, is Disney ever gonna put something like, especially now, all the bank that they're making, all the shows that they're coming out, all the creative processes that they're going through, making all these types of shows, all these characters and all these stories and things going on, which is gonna be like a whole smorgasbord of special effects and CGI and practical things and like just CGI animation and things of that nature and live action. Like, Disney got a lot of things going on and they could do it all. So when it comes to animation in their movies, let's be for real, I don't think anyone should expect anything less than the best. To be honest with you, like, their animation is always top notch. Whether the movie that they put it on is good or not, I haven't seen all the Disney movies, so I can't really, speak for that. But in terms of animation, they're always putting their best foot forward. Let's be for real. Other than animation, the music. Oh my god, the music was amazing. Jazz, piano work, just the music in the movie itself, like the soundtrack that got you into the mood when they're trying to do, let's say, get a certain point across, or get a certain emotion, you know, or just see like the background, the scenery, because like I said, the animation was gorgeous. One specific thing I just fell in love with was when Jamie Foxx's character Joe Gardner went to go, well, not well, yeah, it was an audition actually. When he went to go see his audition for went to the audition for Dorothea, I think her name was Dorothea Williams, if I remember correctly. And yeah, like, he just like came in with I believe his student, his ex-student, which I guess now he's an adult and in a band or something. And they just walked in and she's just playing, I guess, just rehearsing and whatnot. And they have this shot that it's like the side of her arm, but the way the sax looks, and it looks amazing, like just beautiful. The way that they made the gold glitter, like that animation, it looked so real. It looked great. So when it came to animation, that really kept me into the movie. Really, really, really kept me into the movie. The characters, don't have any complaints about them at all. Like I said, it's a weak point. Not really bad, but it's a weak point. And it's not the characters themselves; it's the story. And it's not that the story was bad; it's the story was kind of weak in certain parts. Because, like I said, one of the good things, I love the overall lesson that they try to teach. Because it felt like they try to blend a little bit of lessons here and there, connect them, then for some weird reason disconnect them and just discard them and bring in a whole new lesson. I'm gonna break it down to you if you didn't get that, but like I said, spoilers. The overall message that I understood from the movie was basically live your life. You know, don't become lost in a passion or something like that. Go out and experience new things and, get that spark, right? So I understood that and I got that message, and that's what I understood from it as a movie as a whole, And as we get a little more into the review, that's when you'll see the little things here and there about how it sets up to be one thing about this spark, but then, and they say it in the movie. They clearly say it in the movie. I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't remember the exact line, but they kind of discard that in the movie. But it felt like it was set up that way, to like, it was designed that way to be like, okay, this is what everybody's thinking of when, oh, the spark, he's gonna get his spark. So, which is kind of weird because it didn't, like I said, weak. When it bleeds into the other story, well, the other plot line about, experiences and the soul earth pass and stuff like that, that's when it becomes a little weak. But the overall lesson, I totally understand, and I totally dug it. I really did, because coming from uh let's just say a very personal year and very year for me, I understand, the whole don't get caught up in one thing because you're so focused in it, you become lost. Hence, the lost souls portion of the movie, from the great beyond. Um, and like that hit home. That was really relatable, and that's why I understood, and that's why I really dug that part when it came to that like plot line in the movie. I really like, damn, I really got it. And as an overall lesson, I think that stuck the best. Now everything else, when it comes to, let's say, like I said, the animation was great, the voice acting was great. I had nothing about the cast. I believe it was Jamie Foxx. The only ones I can remember is like Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, and I believe Dorothea Williams was played by Angela Bassett, if I remember correctly. And I apologize for anyone else that was in the movie that don't know their voices. Anyway, the music, the jazz, fucking phenomenal, beautiful. Best things about the movie thus far, just the best things. If that doesn't keep you in the movie, then I guess watch something else. Because if that, I don't know why. It's just fucking amazing. Now, this is onto the weak part of the portion, of the video. Not bad, but weak. It's the storytelling. It's how they try to get that message apart. I mean, not apart, excuse me, across. And I didn't understand it. It was like, wait, what? Like, it got weak as soon as he got to the great before and beyond. I don't know, which is weird because what I didn't understand is, okay, he just had his little audition with Dorothea Williams. She loved him. He threw out a banger. He was on fire. He's gonna get the role and play tonight. So he's making his way. He's mad happy. He's calling everybody, and oddly enough, he's dodging very near misses with death. Right, almost getting hit by a car, getting crushed by the what was it? The construction. I think it was like a ton of bricks or something like that. So he's absent-mindedly, being so happy, being caught up, being lost in this, him being the jazz pianist for his, I guess, his idol, I believe she was. Dorothea Williams, his big break that he kept calling it throughout the movie, that he basically does die, to be honest with you. He falls right into a manhole, and I don't want to hear that he didn't die, or he was, in a coma, or he was just on the brink of death or something like that. No. He was dead, okay? Because what happened to him? He was a soul going straight to heaven. So the light and everything. He chose, it was funny because, like I said, this was the weak part. As a soul, he was so lost and consumed by getting that gig, he escaped, I guess, heaven or the great beyond. Okay, and he ended up where? The great before, if I remember correctly, where the souls get personalities and get their spark. And in order to go to Earth, they have to get that spark and get their Earth pass, and boom, they just get thrown into a hole that has a space of Earth or whatever, and that's it. I was like, wait, what? Like I said, a little weak. So he's he keeps going down this hole over and over and over without getting anywhere closer to getting back to his body, and getting, like I said, the time frame was also weak, by the way, because all this happens within a day. And I believe within a day, I'm pretty sure it's within a day. But yeah, like I said, he's just keep trying to get to Earth by falling down this hole that has the whole space and Earth in there, with all these little souls that they don't even have names. They have weird personalities, like manipulative and narcissist and stuff like that. Like, okay, they don't even have like, what? I'm confused. Like, ain't this the whole like find your like passion and live life? And why do they have weird personalities like that? Like, I don't get it. And a lot of them were weirdly portrayed as kids, so I don't know if they were going to be babies and grow up that way. Whatever. And they didn't. Like I said, they didn't have names, but they had numbers, which was weird. Like, why numbers? Like, are you waiting for them to be named when they get born? Like, whatever. Another weak concept. Another weak thing that they introduced to me was the Jerrys and Terry. Yeah. What? What? Like, they were the caretakers. Then they put other souls. I guess the souls that weren't dead, which still, like I said, I don't get it. I'm confused. Like, they had souls that aren't going to heaven become mentors for the new souls going to Earth. So what happens to those mentors anyway? Like, they're dead regardless, right? So why is this man fighting death and trying to find so many ways to get to Earth if he's gonna be dead regardless? Like I said, more questions than answers. When it came to 22, like I said, some parts of the story were a little weaker when it came to characters, because 22 was a soul that was there for like thousands of years and just didn't find her spark. And she was taught by all these like Mother Teresa and Leonardo DiCaprio, like, I don't know, a lot of all these great famous mentors that were on Earth, like all these like I'm not gonna say idols, not idols, but these figures. Like I said, Mother Teresa was a big one, and like, I don't know, it wasn't Hercules, but like, you know, like someone Greek, like a philosopher and things of that nature. And like, she just couldn't find her spark, or I guess anything, to get her Earth pass. And just one day in this dude's body, spoiler, and she gets her pass. And they kind of like, they sped up that part, because I would have liked it, like, and you could tell that they sped up that part because, like I said, all this was done within the day. Well, like I said, more questions than answers. What I didn't understand is, how was he able to get to Earth? Like, if he was dead, like, I don't understand it. Like, I understand that they went to the mystics with Borders or something like that, with Moonwind and the psychedelic dude that was all trippy, and he was able to like to basically put his soul out there and save lost souls in his ship. Like, what? So like, if like, I don't get it. Like, what happens to your body when your soul is disconnected? Because from what I'm getting is that they die. But then this dude is just chilling on a street corner, not spinning the sign. Just, like, I don't know. Like I said, more questions than answers. But he was actually one of my favorite characters. Like, I liked him because he was just so trippy but smart. And like, this whole, like, I think in order to teach the overall lesson, a lot of the Great Beyond stuff could have been cut, or at least taught, not taught, but explained differently, because there was a lot going on and it kind of confused people until like a certain part in the movie where they literally, the writers, whoever wrote this movie, literally were like, you know what, we're going to discard that. And you could tell that they discarded it when, like I said, another weak point, because then it didn't really make sense for him to go through all of this. But like I said, by design, it kind of worked out. weirdly enough. But when he talks to one of the Jerrys, and he explains that yeah, 22 found her like 22 got her spark or whatever, or didn't get her spark, something like that. But it went to the point that he wanted to be a jazz pianist, and that was his spark, that was his passion. That's what he, was put on Earth to do, as he thought. And that's when Jerry, I guess I'm paraphrasing, excuse me. He says, "Oh, you mentors and your passions and your things, your spark isn't your soul's purpose or whatnot." And I was like, okay, that's when when they said that, they totally negated everything homie went through in the beginning, and was just like, dude, live your life. Like, you're trying to do all of this, just live your life. Even though he technically can't because he's dead. And, like, I understood that, they try to teach a story within a story here. Like, this is what happens before you get to do all of this. And, to us, like, he explains to her that what we do here is just living. You know what I mean? And I guess what she didn't realize is that since you're a soul, you didn't feel anything. You didn't feel any emotion, I guess. Because when there were souls and he was trying to mentor her, he couldn't eat pizza. He couldn't feel any pain or anything like that. So I think for some weird reason that hampered her, and that's why she was just like meh with everything. Because she said she tried to find a purpose and it just wasn't working. That's why she was up there for thousands of years. I forgot the word that they choose to describe her, but yeah, like I don't like what I don't understand is that he goes to do all of this for her, try to be a mentor so she can find her spark, just for him to go to Earth because she was just gonna give up the badge anyway. What? So what was the point of going through all of that? And like I said, they do all this within a day. But as the story goes on and they actually take away the spark thing, to be honest with you, that's when the story becomes a little more clearer, more understandable. Because after that, he also gets the same realization when he goes back to Earth. Because mind you, this man died in a manhole. Nobody called his parents. And mind you, his mother was alive and well. Nobody called to find out that he was in a hurt, he was hurt in an accident. Like, no, he just got up. Mind you, he fell down in a manhole and he got up like it was all fine and dandy. Well, at least 22 when they switched bodies. And again, another back to the questions more than answers. These souls just jump into anything? Because this dude just jumped into a cat. And for some reason, they were able to communicate. Weird. But yeah, whatever. Like I said, more questions than answers. But it is what it is. It didn't really take me out too much. Because when they wrapped up the story, even though it was kind of rushed, to be honest with you, it made everything a lot more clear. It made the lesson that they try to teach and the morals and whatnot a lot more clear to understand and be like, you know what? It makes sense. At the end of the day, it got the point across. It took a while and it was a little muddy, but it got clearer as it went on, and you know what? Totally acceptable, and it still made me watch the movie and adore the movie. And they did this twice to clear it up, I guess, if the first time wasn't like, any clearer for you. When, he speaks to one of the Jerrys, and yeah, like, the spark isn't your soul's purpose, you know what I mean? And then when he actually experiences that, when he actually does the gig, he actually gets back to Earth, spoiler, he gets back to Earth and he does the gig and he just knocks it out the park. But at the end, he just doesn't feel it anymore. He thought it was going to be more. And you know what? That was it. I was like, holy crap. It made sense. Like, something that minor told a way more powerful story than, all this soul stuff. Then they gotta have all these personalities and freaking try to find your spark with either sports or creativity and these things. Like I said, that's why I think it was done by design, because as soon as they said those two things and they affirmed it, I guess they said it once, then they affirmed it to make sure that, yeah, get the point across. Everything just seemed more clear. And that's why I just ended up liking the movie even more at that point. Because like I said, it had its questions, but then when they did that, when they made everything clear, and it was just like, yo, just live your life. Don't get, don't become a lost soul. Don't make people like Moonwind go look for you and try to bring you back to life. You know what I mean? So all that, like I said, cleared up and it tidied up really nicely at the end. My thing is, when he went to go save this girl because she became a lost soul, because like that was just nutty. Because like like he became a Jedi. Like he just started playing piano. He got into that zone that they spoke about earlier in the movie, and then he just became a Jedi. Freaking Johnny Depping it throughout the Black Pearl and stuff like that. You know, being a pirate, saving this girl. And it sucks because you know he did all that and it turned out great. And you know he actually helped himself. He helped 22. I wish we would have found out who 22 was, because that would have been great. Oh, like, oh my god, they actually reconnected. See, like I said back in my Wonder Woman review, when you know the whole Street Trevor, the ending when she actually meets him, the doppelganger or the body double, whatever. See, if they would have done something like that at the end of this movie, with her, with him meeting 22, that would have been like so great. That would have been like, I want to see a part two. I think that would have been a sequel right then and there. You know what I mean? But overall, like the overall message that you know, live life and don't become a lost soul, and you know, even if it's something passionate you're about, just don't get consumed by it. You know, and you know, it's great to experience these new things because that's what 22 was doing actually. You know, experiencing new things. She just had a body to do it, so she felt emotions and hunger and all these things, and it was a great message. I actually like the message. The more I think about it, the more it feels relatable. Because a lot of the things that they say here are relatable as hell, man. Like, wow. Like, you know, you don't really know somebody until, you know, maybe you ask a certain question or it just pops up. Like when 22 ended up talking to the barber, because that, yeah, they had a little mishap with the barber and the clippers. That was funny. But when 22 actually goes and meets the barber, which was Jamie Foxx's character's barber, because at this point he's a cat, and you know he actually learns more about him because 22 asked all these questions. It was like, wow, again another message. Like he's so consumed by jazz, that's all he ever spoke about. He didn't know that his barber, you know, wanted to be a veterinarian, and he thought his gift, since he knew how to cut hair so well, was to become a barber because he was so good at it. That's his talent, that was his thing, that was what he was supposed to be there for. And he was totally wrong, you know. And when Sue's just chilling in the barber's chair, and she's like, "I like the chair. I want the chair." You know, like I said, I loved that part. That was great. Like when she's explaining all these things, and then as you could see, as time went on, and she keeps talking, that everyone in the barbershop just sits there and listens intently, and they're just in there like, wow. Like, and what she's saying about everything makes sense. You know, like she put it in a sense, I guess, like I said, they did about design. She puts it in a sense that, you know, it makes us understand and become more relatable, instead of, you know, looking at the great beyond and all these souls with numbers and weird personalities and so earth passes and stuff like that. Like those little experiences that they showed in that barbershop, that scene, that was great. That was well done, and it shows the message right then and there. And I think if you watch this more than once or twice, you would probably see more and more things that they clued out here and there that you probably didn't catch the first time. But like, you know, to wrap this up, overall the message that it came with and got across, I really dug. I really enjoyed. I really love this movie. Well, I don't love this movie, but I really like it. I give it an easy 8, easy 8 out of 10. 3 points higher than damn Wonder Woman. I'll tell you that much. 3 points higher than Wonder Woman. If you didn't know, Wonder Woman was a 5 for me. And I'll put a link in the description to that review in this one. But overall, like I said, to wrap this up, the message really dug, really enjoyed this movie. Animation, the sounds, the music, voice acting, dug. Some plots in the story to me weren't bad, but they were weak. More questions than answers. How did he do this? How did he basically die about what 2 3 times in the movie in the span of a day, and let nobody knew that he died, except obviously people in the great beyond or whatever the case, and then like people just looking at him, they didn't even bother calling him when he was just laid out in the um subway station. He actually got his body back this time. And it was like, okay, wait, like what? Nobody called? Like I understand it's New York, but like see something, say something, you know what I mean? But like other than that, like little nuances to me, I guess. Little weak points in the story. But other than that, the movie was great. I really did enjoy myself. And to be honest with you, this was like the opposite of what Wonder Woman was in terms of me actually enjoying myself and not falling asleep or having to watch it twice, to be honest with you. But for those who were, like I know this wasn't the most coherent review. These are just the things that I personally went, think and was, thinking of as I was watching this movie and wanted to get across. And I didn't want to say too much in terms of a spoiler for those who didn't want to watch it but are still on the fence about watching it, you know what I mean? Like, you might come across a review and be like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot and watch it. And to be honest with you, one for I guess the time being, for those who have it, it's free. It's on Disney Plus, and whoever has like Hulu and all these bundles and stuff like that. And I guess let's be for real, it's the internet. There's tons of ways to watch this movie for free. So any way you want to go watch that, go ahead. I suggest to do it the legal way. Let me just put it like that. I watched it on Disney Plus, and to be honest with you, it was fucking great. Good movie, worth the watch. Better than fucking Wonder Woman, to be honest with you. Which is sad because I really wanted to like Wonder Woman. Maybe, with this now, from what I know, it's a 4-hour movie, which, oof, that's going to be one hell of a review. But now I know it's going to be a 4-hour movie. So this is going to be probably longer than, oh Lord, Wonder Woman itself. Other than other movies, overall, this movie, back to this one, Disney hits it out the park again, to be honest with you. Like, to be honest with you, I can't pick this movie apart like it's a bad movie, because it's not. It's a great movie. Whoever watches it with your kids or yourself or a significant other, or maybe, you want to find something relatable when it comes to like your passion or your spark, this is a great movie to do it with, in all honesty. You might have some questions, but to be honest with you, it's the message that they're trying to send that's really ties it all together. And I suggest you guys go out there and watch it for yourselves. Like I said, this is going to be an 8 out of 10 in my book. So with that being said, guys, whoever keeps on watching, I really do appreciate the support. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next review, which should be coming up hopefully within a week or so. I'm going to try to get there. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good one.